Good morning, friends. Santosh here, and just going to do a little chanting before class starts. A little check of the system check. Oh, that goes. And back here at Ahimsa Yoga, 6th Avenue in Marion, kind of close to downtown. It's nice to be in the studio. There'll be a few students filtering in here this morning. It'll be pretty quickly. So we'll warm up the space for all of us. A little warmer upper before shine chat. Oh, do not. Oh, do not. Oh, Swaha, do not. Om Lord Buddha Swaha Purnamasi Om Purnamasi Om Buddha Purnamasi Om Swaha Purnamasi Om Lord Buddha Swaha Purnamasi Om La La Om Prana Om Om Chakshu Chakshu Om Shukran Shukran Om Namapi Om Hridaya Om Antaha Om Shiraka Om Bhakti-yama Yashoda Om Hara 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 Krishna Om Gurkanatu Shirasi Om Durvahatunatu Nitreyo Om Swaha Punatu Kante Om Maha Punatu Hridaye Om Maha Punatu Hridaye Om Yana Punatu Navya Om Tattva Punatu Aveya Om Satyam Punatu Punaha Shirisi Om Brahma Punatu Sarvatra Om Maha Punatu Hridaye Om Maha Punatu Hridaye Om Gananandhara Ganapate Nom Bhavamate Priyanandhara Priyapate Nom Bhavamate Vindhinandhara Niripate Nom Bhavamate Aso Mahapanjane Bhavadama Jasse Bhavadama Om Shirisi Om Jannatunatu Bhavya Om There's still a minute or so before we start. Someone's coming in. Just so we know, y'all know the stream is already on. So we're already live streaming. So just continue that, and I'll kind of begin in a moment. Hi, Molly. Yeah, Chalice, this is your first time here, yeah. So there's another little studio down below. I don't know if you kind of. There's a little studio there, bathrooms down to that little cutting holes for your things if you choose. And then our yoga living room up here.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
Yeah, it's really nice.
I love the light in here.
Yeah, it's great. All right, so as you know, I do a little conversation, to start class. And I'll slip over to the screen here and talk to my friends online also. And so welcome everyone. Yeah, it's Sam, Tammy, Lori. Yeah, thanks for checking in, and others who may be on the stream and anonymous. And I always broadcast, the theme of the class in advance on my feeds. And the theme of today's class is, Prana, the golden seed, is what I've titled this class. And I would say if there's one thing that's like the most relevant part of our yoga practice, and every week I'm like, this is the most important thing to know. So it's all really important. But I would say that prana is the one nexus to developing our yoga practice through the composition of deepening into our ability of our awareness and of our more refined states of consciousness. And what I would add to that is in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, there's a sutra that talks about prana and pranayama, breathing practices. And it says that your pranayama should be done with relationship to space, time, and number. Space, time, and number. And at first glance, it can be a little like there can be inquiry, if you will, around what does that actually mean. And when we dig into the commentary a little bit further, space is actually the length of the breath that's coming in or out of the body when you breathe. And in the teachings of yoga, it said that the more refined the breath, the shorter the breath. And so an example is if you're exhaling, you might be able to feel the wind of your exhale a foot away from your nostrils, or 18 inches. And the yogis say that it should only be 1 inch. Only 1 inch. Or they have said if you place a mirror under your nose, you shouldn't be able to see it fog. And when we kind of look at it in that context, the whole apparatus of the idea of breathing changes. And the reason that I go there then is if we're breathing slower and more consciously, then the seeds of the pranic energy are infusing into the subtle body. So conscious breathing. So space, time, and number. Time is how long the cycle of breath is. You're breathing for 15 seconds, inhaling, exhaling, half minute, whatever it is, 10 seconds. And then the number is just how many repetitions. And so again, this is just describing pranayama. What I would add to this is that how we work with prana is vital with respect to the yogi. I mean, we get it in water, pure water, that is, like well water. We get it in food that has sattvic qualities, but we can also waste life force energy as well. So if we're eating food that's processed or dead, or if say we're working too hard and exhausting our body, we're literally losing prana. And so for the yogin, We want to accumulate prana through our breathing and our kind of like psychic meditation practices, through pure diet. And then we want to increase the frequency. And if you look up the definition of frequency, it says the rate of vibration. And so the more prana that we accumulate, then that prana, through the purification of, say, mantra or sound, over time increases the frequency of the vibration of that prana inside the body. And why this is all relevant, it has absolutely no relevance if we don't utilize it for its purpose. And its purpose is essentially to be like the psychic membrane between our physical conscious state and a more subtle conscious state of awareness. It's really the bridge between our physical world and then this spiritual world. And so it's essential, if you will, that we're vitalizing, illuminating, illuminated insight yoga, illuminating that fabric of prana within us, and always be sensitive to how we're sustaining that container. Because this is what gives us life. It's like, we've all seen like a vegetable that has gone bad. It's wilted. And the reason that that's happened is the prana has left that plant. That's the only reason that vegetable has essentially died, is the life force left that plant. And the same thing happens with our bodies. So prana is the absolute nexus. And so we'll do a pretty good dose of pranayama practice today. And when we go through our asana practice, what I would ask is that you be attentive to how you exhale. One of the things that kind of early on in working with my yoga practice and my pranayama practice is I started lengthening my exhales in my asana practice. And it's challenging. It's hard, especially when the physical body is under stress, when the pulmonary circuit is being stressed. It's very difficult to extend the exhale. But the amount of purification and the amount of assimilation of prana that can come into the body is just significant. We normally abandon the exhale because our pulmonary circuit is saying, I need more oxygen. And so release that breath as quickly as you can so you can take another breath. And if you just bring some willpower in extending the exhalation, you'll see a massive transformation. So all that said, I did get some chai today. So there's the chai. It's from Pablo's, just down the block. And I was talking to the, person and the human. And she was saying that they're mixing up a new blend of it. And she started talking about, we mix 4 pounds of cinnamon and 4 pounds of ginger. And I'm like, wow, that sounds just fantastic to me. So that's my dream, is to be in 4 pounds of ginger and cinnamon after being rolled in ghee. So anyway, cheerio, friends, to chai and chat. A new blend of chai, so I definitely recommend. I really love the chai a lot. I like mine better, but it's all good. So we'll come into comfortable seated position if you aren't already. And then just elongate the spine so you sit nice and tall. Feel the elbows back under the shoulders and a broadness that can come into the upper torso by kind of just tracking the head, the arm bones back just a little bit. And you'll feel that that can free up the upper portion of your lungs really nicely. Sometimes, we're all just rounding into the top chest these days, and so just kind of feel open and long and spacious. And then we'll begin the full yoga breath technique. As a reminder, it begins by extending the belly outward as we inhale, and then ribs expand, and then the chest again lifts and expands, full breath in. Pause for a moment there, and then a full breath out, and just be mindful with how you pace your exhalation. And be really mindful to bottom out the exhale. Just go to the very, very bottom of the exhale. And then the next inhale, again, comes in as the belly expands, ribs, chest expand. And then begin to pause also. So we call this the kumbhak, the suspension at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. And it's almost you can just feel the prana kind of embedding itself into the physical system here. The subtle body system, better said. I had a lucid experience one time when I was sleeping at night, and I woke up inside my sleep and I was breathing prana. I wasn't really breathing oxygen, and I discovered that my inhale and exhale were actually infinite. When you go to the top of your inhale, continue to breathe. As the physical apparatus is at its capacity, one can still assimilate the pranic energy. It's remarkable. It's considered the breath within the breath. Again, be mindful of how you exhale. Just taking these first moments to literally seed our subtle apparatus with life force energy in preparation for deeper practices. One is invited to include an intention. And what I would guide maybe for this morning's intentional kind of fabric is to maybe scan your life and maybe identify those areas where your pranic climate may not be fully utilized properly. Maybe you're, wasting energy. It can be diet, it can be, being exhausted, whatever it may be, and maybe just include into our intention today the need of the yoga to sustain your life force energy with awareness, with purpose. Being conscious of your own inputs and outputs of energy. The seeds of your awareness. Babaji said one time in these practices is that pranayama and prana is absolutely essential. Absolutely essential. So exhale your breath completely in and take a nice big inhale. We'll chant a couple of moments together. So we'll inhale. And again, another big inhale. And one last one, a nice big inhale here. Just breathing with conscious awareness here. Just gently open the eyes. Come off of our seated position. So go ahead and spin off if you're on any kind of seated support. Please remove that. And we'll just begin in a tabletop position. Appreciate your endurance in the seated position here. And let's just begin to circle the hips, say in a clockwise direction, and including right rhythmically breathing. So as the heart floats forward, we're inhaling. And as the hips draw back, we're exhaling. And begin to kind of fabricate the possibility of moving and breathing with some harmony, some form of consistency or integration between breath and movement. And so then allow your body, if you will, and its movement to kind of be free to sync with the experience of breathing. So if, say, the movement needs to slow down or speed up, whatever it may be, feel free to make those modifications. Gentle switch of the direction when that feels good. And if we begin to think about, wow, my breath is extending a foot from my nostrils now as I make these movements and breath. That's just, it's true. And then we'll just kind of release the hips back. Heart go to the earth. Hips stay lifted though, so puppy pose. Just the upper torso, thoracic area. Give a little stretch, kind of in between the shoulder blades, where it may show up to different people. And gently inhale, float on up, and then release the hips down. Take the gaze to the horizon here. And then exhale, lift the hips back into that same kind of puppy pose. And just continue this movement and breathing. And then just allow kind of a more subtle or slower pace to support, a really integrated and synchronized movement of breath. Something really subtle, really peaceful internally. And it's just we get to this place eventually where we recognize that not one breath should be wasted without being aware of it. And gently we'll meet up into a tabletop position. A little twist here, so let the left hand draw under the face. And then gently inhale, float the right hand to the sky. Give the wrist a spin. Breathe very deeply here. Start with deep breathing. Keep reaching to the tips of the fingers in a big inhale. And then gently float this right hand through on the inside. Left shoulder near to mat. The left hand reaches to the top edge of the mat. The hips drift to the right here. And stay with the breath.
Nice big inhale. And exhale gently that left hand back underneath you, ground it. And then inhale, float the right arm, so we unravel. And that twist, and we'll gently switch this out. So ground the right hand when you're ready, inhale, float the left, and we'll spin the rest when you're ready. And again, a nice big inhale. And exhale, floating down this left hand through on the right shoulder. And here to the mat, right hand reaches to the top edge of the mat, hips drift to the left. Breath awareness. Big inhale. And exhale gently, release. Now right hand back underneath and float left. And then back into neutral position. So nice side body stretches here. So take the hands off the mat to the right side. A big inhale. And exhale, arcing into the left side body, forehead towards the earth. And just sink here, breathe deeply. Breathing with conscious awareness. Gently ground the hands here. Then they'll float up to neutral. We'll switch. So take the hands off the mat to left side. Same thing. Ground hands firm. Inhale, breath. Slowly exhale. Float forehead towards the earth. We can even practice asana in such a way that we lose prana. One might say that that's not, so ideal. And then gently, put up to neutral. And then from here, we'll keep the arms extended in front of us. Let the right palm turn up. Inhale and exhale, sinking into the right shoulder. It's almost as if you're like a plant and you're inhaling the vitality of the sun. And gently inhale, foot up to neutral, and then we'll switch this out so the left palm turns up. Inhale and exhale, sinking. I imagine that plant won't waste that energy of the sun ever. And then gently inhale, foot up to neutral position. So I'm going to spin around and face you. In this position, extend the right leg out to the right, the toes point forward. Pretty familiar. Big inhale and exhale with the hips drift back. So we find a little stretch of that inner groin, then let the elbows land, the heart seams forms, ground here. And you're going to continue to kind of slide the pubic bone back so the pelvis kind of internally rotates. So you find that nice sweet stretch in the groin. Gently inhale, foot up to neutral, ground the left hand firm. Right arm floats to the sky, reach up. Stay with very much a conscious breath. Big inhale, then exhale, float the hand arm down. And then sweep this right foot on the outside, the left knee looks like this. We'll create a figure four, the toes tucked under or the top of the foot. You choose, hips drift back and then back onto the forearms again. So a little sweetness for the outside of that right hip, possibly. Really allow this time for a time of assimilation of life force energy. Your yoga practice is so vital. Inhale, come up to neutral. We'll switch the sequence out. So extend the left leg, the toes point forward here. Hips back, elbows bent, forearms ground, hand. We're all ready for that. And just fluid breathing, right? So all of a sudden, like our breath, as we know, can be like a smooth stream, or can be like a rushing waterfall. And ultimately, you want it to be very smooth. Ideal. Inhale, come on to neutral and ground when we're ready. Right hand inhale, float the left hand, arm up. Just breathe deeply. Nice big inhale. And exhale, float hand and arm down and sweep down. Left foot on the outside of that right knee. Just kind of work that out. Toes tucked under, top of the foot, yogi choice that way. And then we just drift the hips back, forearms ground. Back here. Again, just be very aware how you pace the exhale. Be invited to bottom the exhale out completely. And then gently inhale, float up to neutral here. We're leaning down dog. So just unravel. We know this. Tuck the back toes under hips, lift when you're ready. Adho Mukha Skonasana. Downward facing dog. Just take a moment and kind of wiggle your way into it. Have any movements and things that just might feel illuminating through the body. Stay with the breath. Smoothing out the inhale and the exhale, breathing with conscious awareness. Our yoga practice, our yoga class is this one opportunity to create your own world, if you will. So much outside of these walls is organized for itself versus organized for our kind of well-being, if you will. Yeah. That is. And then lift the heels here, come up onto the tippy toes, let's sink the heart. Just breathe in. And then gently release the heels towards the earth. See with the breath. And then lean in a forward pose, little bend the knees, then walk the feet to the hands here, Uttanasana. Allow the weight to begin to build into the toenails. Crown of the head reaches towards the earth. Get a little stir of the head, yes and no. Feel a little release for the neck, even. Grab opposite elbows for the spine to feel some extension. Just stay with the breath. And then Ardha Uttanasana, we know this is half lift, so hands to chins, lengthen from the tail to the ground. The shoulders can kind of pull away from the ears to feel that extension along the spine. And a nice big inhale. Then exhale, lengthen out as you pull down. Chin tucks, hands release here at the bottom. Yeah, and again, inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, folding. One more of these. Gently inhale, pull that up. Slowly pacing the exhale as you hinge at the hips. So put them in the knees and send the left leg back into the lunge. And then we'll just bring the right hand to the right knee. Your thigh will come up into a crescent form, so Vajrasana. So you're just coming up, let the back heel lift, quad active back leg, let the arms extend to the sky here. So just going to feel into that. And so now the body is just gently coming under a little more pressure, if you will, and continue to be really smooth with your breath. We'll add a little bit of movement to maybe kind of support that. Inhale, you're breathing. The exhale, gently float the hands behind you. Here, for a moment, we'll pause. Little roll of the shoulders, interlace the fingers here, and then just lift the hands. Stay with your breath. Keep the core active. Little squeeze of the inner thighs. And then exhale the breath completely. And then inhale, float the hands and arms over the head. So reach here. And then gently exhale, float the hands behind you. Just pace it kind of slow with the breath. And just do one more of these. Float hands and arms over the head. Reach. And then exhale, gently float all the way down the hands flat. And then just step back into high plank. High push up here. Nice. And nourish the body with your breath. And then gently float the right leg here, hip height. And then take a nice big inhale. And then exhale, knee to chest. Give a little squeeze in. And then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, gently squeeze it in. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, gently release it down. And we'll switch this out. So when you're ready, float the left leg. Pause here. Yeah. Smoothing out the rhythm of your breathing. A nice big inhale. Exhale, knee to chest squeeze. And then inhale it behind you. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale it behind you. And exhale, gently release it down. Pause here. Continue to breathe deeply and smooth out your breath. Nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release these. Nicely done. Friends, all the way to the belly here. Bhujangasana, some tops of the feet, pelvis, hands, ground. And then gently, float torso. We'll pause here. Shoulders can move away from the earth, using the muscles of the back to sustain the form. Inhale, breath. And exhale, float down gently. And again, inhale, float on up. Rhythmically breathing. Exhale, float down, so we're not like wasting one breath at all. Inhale, float on up. And then tuck the back toes under. And exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Very nice. And then a little gentle bend of the knees, and then send the left foot to the left hand. And then come on up. So we're here to continue Vajrasana. So heels lifting, take a minute for that, and then when you're ready, float the hands and arms. Stay with the breath. Okay, and then nice big inhale. And exhale, slowly sweep the hands behind you. Again, give the shoulders a little bit of a roll. Then interlace the fingers. And then lift the hands and arms. Just stay with the breath. And when you're ready, nice big inhale. Exhale deeply. Inhale, float the hands and arms overhead, reach. Exhale, sweep them behind you. And just slow movement, slow breath. And then inhale, float the hands and arms to the sky. And exhale, backward steps falling forward, Uttanasana at the top of the mat here. Just take a moment. Give the head a little bit of a stir again. Inhale, half lift, pause. Lengthen from tail to crown, a little bit of the knees. Inhale, cactus the arms. Reach to the sky. Take the gaze up. Put a little sway in the body. A little bit of movement. Breathe in. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, just gently swan dive forward here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, pull down the knees, and then send out the right leg back into the lunge. And then inhale, float upper body and arms over here. Back into Vajrasana. Stay with the breath. And then nice big inhale. And exhale, down the left hand to the left waist. And inhale, reach right hand forward, sort of twisting to the left. So fist with this right hand, elbow on the outside of near thigh. And then the left hand covers the right hand. Left shoulder away from the left ear. Reaffirm the engagement of the back of the quad. And then you can take this deeper by opening the arms, so right hand earth, left hand stars. And then deeper still, we draw this left arm over the head towards the front of the room. And just notice the breath, it's hard to miss. And nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the hand down, plant, and then step back into high push-up. Once again, stay with your breathing. Thanks, Nicole. Yeah, kind of figured that out. We got some new neighbors upstairs. So, it's okay. The inhale and exhale, gently release to the knees, all the way to the belly. And then, float on up. And it seemed like they were kind,
Yes.
so we'll just go with that.
Very.
Nice people. It's It's a form of pratyahara, sense withdrawal. Concentrating on like 50 drum beats per second. Just like, wow, that was pretty good. Nice big inhale and exhale, lift the hips back into down dog. Yeah. A little bend in knees, and then send out the right foot to the right hand, and then we'll come back up into Vajrasana. Arms float. And then just notice how the breath is becoming under a little more stress. And when that happens, this is when we kind of double down on extending the exhale. Nice big inhale. Next one, right hand, right waist. And then inhale, reach the left hand forward. And we'll twist now to the right. So left elbow on outside the near thigh. Sinking arm bit to knee. We engage back the quad. Right hand covers left. Right shoulder away from right ear. Heart opens. And then open the arms. Breathe. From off the back of the quad. And draw the right arm over the head and just reach. Stay with the breath. Okay. And nice big inhale. And exhale, release the hand down, look down. Back foot steps to the top of the mat. And then inhale, Ardha half lift. Exhale, fold. And then a little bit of knees, cactus arms, inhale, flat back to standing, all the way up. Reach. Sway the body. And then capture the left wrist with the right hand, stand firm on the left foot. Then inhale, sweep to the right. Just pull. You can continue to engage the standing left leg. Quadricep. Breathe. And then just put a little subtle bend in the elbows and just feel the shoulder blades integrate into the back body. And then sweep a little deeper. And then inhale, foot up to neutral. Exhale, switch to grip for the hands. And then inhale, sweep to the left, stand firm now on that right leg. Breathe in. Reaching, and then put a little bend on the elbows, feel the shoulder blades in the back of the body, sink a little deeper, and then inhale, flip to neutral. Exhale, flip the hands and arms down by our side, a little bit of knees, you can close the eyes here. Reintegrate your breathing. Full big inhales, full, slow, long, extended exhales. Nourishing the body with your breath. Sit down, friends, and just gently open the eyes here. Float hands and arms to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, fold the knees, plant hands, step back, plank, push up. Here, and then Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, this is upward facing dog. Just gently release the hips down, roll over the tops of the feet. Draw the heavy arm bones back, little micro bend in the elbows, engage the quads. Breathe very deeply. And when you're ready, nice big inhale.
And exhale, slowly lift the hips back into down dog.
And then from here, let the hips drift to the right and ground both of the feet and just feel a little side body stretch. And that left side, you can even track the outside left hip back even further for additional sensation. And then gently inhale, float the hips up. And then the heels follow. And then gently release the hips to the left and the heels follow the ground. Breathe here. And then gently, float up to neutral. Warrior one pose, right foot steps, right hand, left heel pivots down, come to standing. Take a moment here. Virabhadrasana 1, arms reach in. Always mindful of your breathing, just as if you're counting every breath. The yogis even went as far as to say if one could become aware of every breath for one day, you would be self-realized. You would just exist in a state of present moment perception and just be so pervasive. Big inhale, reach. And exhale, put the hands behind you. Interlace fingers. Inhale, breath. Slowly exhale, hinge, float hands and arms over the head. Bowing. Breathe here. Exhale the breath. And then inhale, float hands and arms to the sky. And exhale, gently release. Float tenderly down. Hands plant, step back, high plank, high push-up. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale gently, downward facing dog. Just time your movements with the breath. A little bend in the knees. Left foot steps, left hand. So Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Once again, right heel grounds. Take a moment here, squaring the hips off when you're ready. Hands and arms reach as tall as you can. Let the body just lengthen. Now particularly this right hip flexor. Big inhale. Exhale, float the hands behind you. Interlace fingers. Inhale, breath. And exhale, bow the torso on the inside of the left leg, hands and arms over the head. Breathe here. And then gently exhale the breath. Inhale, float all the way up and out, reach to the sky. Gently exhale, float. Hands plant, step back. High plank, high push-up. One long exhale, inhale, float up dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. Breathe deeply here to nourish the body. At all costs, literally extend the exhale. And then gently come into child's pose, so release to obeisance again, friends, hips to the heels, Balasana, child's pose. And we'll be back into downward facing dog when you're ready. So down dog. Working with your breathing. And then Virabhadrasana 2, right foot steps, left foot pivots down, handstand. Take a moment here. Sink deep into the front leg. Knee, arms float, shoulder height when you're ready. Stay with your breath. Case the middle finger of the front hand. Imagine, right, that the plant is assimilating as much sunlight that is being offered. So then for the human, then we assimilate as much breath as what's being offered. The tendency is to short breathe. And sink a little lower, and then just bring the elbow on the inside of this right leg, and then float the left arm over the head. Stay with your breathing. And then straighten the right arm towards the earth, sink a little deeper into the right hip if you choose. And then bring the left hand to the sacrum, heart spins open here. And just breathe. Okay. And then Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, step the back foot in. Like the front hand in front of the front foot, and then inhale straight the front leg and lift the back leg. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, float the left arm when you're ready. Stay with the breath. Spread the toes of the left foot. Reach to the fingertips of the left hand. Then reach the left hand a little higher to the sky and float the right hand off the earth. Stay with the breath. And then a careful bend in the standing like knee. Release down into warrior two. Lengthen the exhale. And next we inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, straighten the leg, pivot right foot in, left foot opens. So going the other way, bend front leg knee. Over two. Stay with the breath. Have the courage to exhale fully. And left elbow on the inside of the left leg, right arm over the head. Breathe. And then straighten the left arm towards the earth. Sink a little deeper in the left hip if you choose. And right hand to the sacrum. Arm spins open. Breathe. And then Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, step the back foot in. Left the front hand in front of the front foot, and straighten the front leg, and lift the back leg. Right arm to the sky. Really reach through the toes and the fingers, and possibly float the left hand. Bring it to the heart. And then warrior two, careful bend in the standing leg knee. Place the back foot down.
Breathe deeply. Slowly exhale down. And then nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to the waist. Straighten the front leg, pick up the left foot in. Inhale, breath. And exhale, hinge the hips.
And gently inhale. Half lift here. Plant left hand on the face, little twist. And I'll take the right hand to the sky first. Feel that. And then the right hand to the sacrum, palm down. And just open up the heart. Breathe deeply. And as we inhale, and exhale, gently release here. We'll switch to grab the right hand, float the left. Breathe. And then left hand to the sacrum. Keep spinning open. And nice big inhale. Exhale, gently release the twist here. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, flat back to standing. Pivot to the right foot, and just step the back foot to the top of the mountain. Take a moment. Nice, friends. And so from here, we'll stay standing. Step the left leg back, about 3/4 of a stride. So Parsvottanasana, hands to the waist here, straight front leg hip square. And inhale, breath. And exhale, hinge the hips. Going forward just halfway down to start. Kind of feel into that little micro bend front leg knee. Track the outside of that right hip back. Stay with the breath. Engage back leg quads, so kind of pivot some energy into the grounded back foot. Inhale, breath. And exhale, hinge deeper. Let the hinge release to the shin or the floor, wherever may be helpful or blocked even. Track the outside of that right hip back into that. And then inhale, kind of lengthen front spine. Take the left hand a little closer to the foot, or maybe even the outside of that right foot, and bring the right hand to the sacrum and spin open to the right. So Parivrtta, Utthita, Trikonasana, so revolve triangle float, the right hand to the sky. Stay with the breath. And a nice big inhale. Exhale, hand down, look down, a little micro bend front leg knee. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, flat back to standing. We'll switch this out, so step the back foot to the top of the mat. Oh, such a great pose. So right foot goes back. Hands to the waist, inhale, breath. And exhale, hinge. Pulling forward halfway down again. Take a minute here. A little bend in that front leg knee. Left hip tracks back. Inhale, breath. And exhale, hinge. Hands release. Shin or floor block. Again, tracking the outside of that. Oh, that left hip back. Feel into that. And then when you're ready, begin to ground. Right hand, float the heart forward a little bit, hand on the inside or the outside of that left foot, right hand to the sacrum, palm down, heart spins open. Engage back that quad, so we're firming up the stance, float left arm. When you're ready, breathe. And then just big inhale. Exhale, the hand down, move down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. No flat back to standing. And just gently step it back to the top of the mat. Take a moment. Exhale slowly. If you do go to the bottom of the exhale, you'll find out what I'm talking about. And just gently, you can open the eyes and open the hands and arms, just reach it. And the exhale, swan dive forward here. Inhale, Varda. So fold, medium down dog here. And then Balasana, child's pose. Gently inhale, come to seated here. Just for a moment, little demonstration. So the next sequence that we'll do is just two poses, but it's done in combination with one another, and it's Ustrasana, which we know is camel pose, into what's called Kormasana, and that's tortoise pose or extended child's pose rendition. And this little sequence is in a set of poses that I teach in a kind of a sadhana practice. We'll do this up at Shivalaya in August, likely, the full rendition of this practice. But the thing that makes it interesting is the breath is held. And so this sequence that I teach, it's 16 poses. Of the 16 poses, 12 are done with breath retention. And so it takes asana practice into a whole other dimension, and this is a part of that. I say that because you may not want to hold the breath, and maybe it can get a little wiggly. We start here, and then it's just inhaling. Again, I'm just demonstrating. We'll inhale, hold the breath in. And then exhale, palms come together, forehead earth, and hold the breath out. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the low back. And then inhale up, breath in. Exhale. Hold the breath out. And then you what's challenging is to do this, both holding the breath in and more holding the breath out. And it can stimulate a lot of energy. And so this is where we'll do it 3 times. We'll do three times. Maybe on the first one, you're just experimenting with how your body reacts to this. Different experiences can come up when we do this, so just be mindful with that. And so here we go. Come to this position here. And then inhale your breathing. Exhale, hands to the low back. Inhale up into Camel Ustrasana. Hold the breath in if you choose. Exhale, Kormasana, palms together, forehead earth, hands forward. Hold breath out. Inhale, seated. Exhale, hands to low back. Inhale, come on up, hold the breath in if you choose. Exhale, Kormasana. Swim into it. Hold the breath out. Inhale, come seated. Exhale, go back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Kormasana. Inhale to neutral. Close the eyes. Let your breath come back. And then exhale your breathing completely. Inhale the breath and hold the breath in and just wait here. And gently exhale. And gently open the eyes here. We'll extend the legs out in front of us. And so, Paschimottanasana, just kind of pull the hamstrings out. But we'll do this also with a breath retention. And again, I'll just do a quick little demonstration. We'll inhale, float the arms up, and then hiss as you exhale. Breath is held out. And inhale. And breath is held out. Okay. So exhale your breathing. Float arms. Pull the breath out. Inhale up.
held out. Inhale up. Inhale up. 2 more times. Inhale up. This time. Inhale up. And bring some hands to prayer. And then really gently open the eyes, draw the right leg up and over the left here. So tall. And then elbow crease to meet here. Sweep this right arm behind you, twisting to the right. Maybe float this left arm over the right leg if you need more sensation. More twist. More sensation still, the arm can straighten to the extended leg. Breathe here. And then inhale, breath. And then exhale, gently unravel. Counter twist, so we do this counter twist where we come onto the forearms here. Like so. And if you want to magnify this sensation, you can take this right arm and hook it like so. Doing that. And then gently just straighten that left arm, come out of it. Let's come back, switch, go left. Sit tall. Elbow crease, left arm sweeps, listen to the left. Breathe here. Deeply breathe. The principles of our breath practice are still relevant here. Floating that right arm if you choose. Deeper sensation. Stay with the breath. Give yourself a chance to actually breathe in the yoga pose. Ready to take a nice big inhale. And so now up here. Cycle away all the way through to the right here. Forearms ground. Breathe into the belly. And then magnifying the sensation, hook the left arm. And then gently, when you're ready, straightening the right arm. Just unravel here. Tadasana. And then Purvottanasana, hands about 8 inches or so on the hips. You can modify this by reverse tabletop or inhale, float the hips up. You can always bend the knees again, draw, track the feet under the knees. More subtle sensation. Inhale, breath. And
Exhale, gently release the hips and all the way down. So just come onto the forearms and elbows and make your way to your back gently. Give yourself a full body stretch. So take the hands and arms and things over the head long. So big stretch here. Now then, the knees here, will rock side to side. And then deeply to Chakrani Mudra, so our inversion. The hips can always be placed on a block. As a modification, ground the hands, little momentum with the feet and legs, lift the hips, hands to the lower back. Body takes a V shape here. With every breath, we have an opportunity to seed the capacity of the evolution of our consciousness. Expanding the capacity full inhales, gently paced, and full exhales, gently paced. Begin to move from this position, so they'll bend the knees, let the hands release earth, hips slowly float down here. Hug. And extend the legs out for pre-Shavasana breath retention. And we'll start by holding breath and pooching the belly. So exhale, you're breathing completely here. And then take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in and pooch out the belly. And very gently exhale the breath. All the way. We'll do this one more time. So exhale the breath. And take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in. Push out the belly. Gently exhale the breathing. So allow this to be carried into Shavasana. And please feel free to make yourself more comfortable with that. Showing up for you.
here. So key to awareness. Capacity is expanded between form, formlessness, and pure awareness. That subtle being that's witnessing. So that evocative creature within you. Let the breathing gently lengthen here. And for little movements to come back into the body. And it feels comfortable for you. We'll stretch. We'll end up on our left side at some point. We'll hug in there too. Just feel. Just gently come to a seated position here. So we'll have about another 20 minutes of practice, seated practice. So one is invited to get comfortable in a seated position, typically a little elevation under the pelvis. So choose what's most supportive for you. We're going to step right into a deep stream of practice. Do what are called the bandhas. The bandhas, the word itself means lock or seal. And if it isn't something that you've been exposed to, I'll teach it pretty thoroughly. There's 3 different ones. The first is called Mula Bandha, and it is considered Mula. The word itself means root, rock. This is taught in different ways, and so the way that I teach it is organized around kind of the more ancient tradition of Hatha Yoga, whereby there's a nadi, and that means a subtle body seal. That is inside the column of the colon, that is the point of our contraction. And so one accesses that by first capturing, if you will, the muscle structure that is surrounding the anal sphincter, and then drawing that contraction up about 3 or 4 finger widths deep inside the column of the colon. And that's the access point for what's called Ganesh Nadi. And this is where Mula Bandha is. This is done on an inhale retention. And so the technique is that we'll take a full yogic breath, the belly expands, the ribs expand, full breath in. And as the belly draws towards the spine, then we capture Mula Bandha, which is Ganesh Nadi inside the column of the colon, and just hold the breath, squeeze. And then we'll exhale the breath, relax the pelvic floor, so release the contraction of Mula Bandha. And we'll do this 3 times. There is contraindication for this. The contraindication
predominantly, it is if you're on your moon cycle, so menses, if it's the first few days, and then pregnancy, and also I say that because Maggie is on the stream, and so probably you're in your second trimester, probably not for you to do today, and then any breath retention stuff, so any heart disease, stroke, anything like that, eye issues, detached retina, glaucoma, all complications for this practice. So just kind of work your way through that. If any of that is showing up for you, and just deep yoga. So again, we'll do 3 of these, so we'll kind of call it out. So exhale, you're breathing completely. Here, and then full yoga breath, belly expands, ribs expand. Contract the Ganesh Nadi inside the column of the colon. Hold the breath in, just wait on it. And then very, very gently begin to exhale, completely relax the pelvic floor. At the bottom of the breath. And then again, the second round, the belly expands. Okay. Belly to the spine. Keep inhaling, capture, right, Uddiyana. Hold the breath in, wait. Do one more of these. So full yoga breath in. Mulabandha, Ganesh Nadi, inside the column of the colon, just squeeze real tight and then hold the breath in. And then very gently relax the breath, relax the pelvic floor, just breathe normally. Just feel the effects of the practice. The alchemy of the practice is that it reverses what's called Apan Prana. And Apan Prana is energy that is normally going out of the body and reverses that flow and turns it up. So one might say, like with the cycle, the moon cycle, right? So it's contraindicated because we're reversing that energetic release. So encouraging the pranic energy to flow upward into the head region, even the third chakra, chakra. And then gently here open the eyes. The next practice is called Jalandhar by Jalandhar. And then it's translated as cloud holding water, cloud holding water. And it's the throat block, so Jalandhar. And how this is done is we'll take a full inhale, hold the breath in, and then the chin is released into the hollow of the throat, and then the sternum lifts, and then turn the corners of the mouth up to close the glottis in the back of the throat. Again, the breath is held in, and then we lift the chin, and then exhale the breath out. So Jalandhar Bandh. Again, the only contraindications for this is what may be normal for breath retention. So again, heart, lung, eye issues, that kind of thing. So exhale the breath completely, and then take a full breath in. Hold the breath, release the chin down, lift the sternum, and then draw the corners of the mouth up.
the chin and exhale. Fully exhale. We'll move right into the second round. You get 3 on this one too. Full breath in. Drop the chin into the hollow throat. Lift the sternum. Turn the corners of the mouth up. Lift the chin and exhale. And do one more round. Just find your own pacing into it. Full yoga breath. Lift the chin and exhale. Right. Again, breathe into the belly. Feel the effects of the practice. What happens with these practices is it begins to purify subtle body channels, which are called nadis. The yogis believe that there are 72,000 energy channels in physical form. When the breath is retained, it begins to strengthen these channels, and then these channels open and they can sustain carrying pranic energy. So the longer the breath retention is, eventually the more pure and stronger this little body becomes. We'll do one more bandha. You can gently open the eyes. Here, the last one is called Uddiyana Bandha, and this is considered a navel lock, and it means flying upward. And again, with this bandha, the contraindications or moon cycle and things, any ulcers, if one might have ulcers, another contraindication. And this is done actually with the breath held out. And so this can be more challenging to hold the breath out. You may have discovered that on those 2 poses that we're doing. In the second one, Kurmasana, with the breath held out, kind of similar to that. But then with this one, the belly is drawn to the spine and then up under the rib cage to the breath is held out. And we'll lean forward. We'll do a little demonstration with this one. So full breath in. Then the belly relaxes, and then inhale. So again, will kind of guide us to hold the breath out. It won't be as long as what we just did, other 2. And if you're feeling the need to breathe, just, do so. So full breath in. Full breath out, lean forward, come onto the fingertips. Keep the chin lifted though, belly to the spine, up under the cage, hold the breath out. Relax the belly, inhale. Take a catch breath here, so exhale completely. Inhale. Exhale. Belly to the spine and up under the rib cage. Relax belly, inhale. Catch breath, exhale. Inhale. Last round. Exhale, lean forward. Belly to the spine, up into the ribcage. With your eyes closed, and just really affects the practice. These are heating practices. And so it's important to cool the body. The last pranayama we'll do is Sikari or Shitali pranayama. So you can open the eyes. Shitali pranayama is done when we turn the tongue into a pipe shape, like that. Not everyone can do that. It's kind of a genetic thing. If for any reason you can't turn the tongue into a pipe shape like this, bring the tongue to the back of the teeth. And then we inhale into the belly. Close the mouth and exhale through the nostrils. So we're going to inhale through the mouth. And exhale through the nostrils. And just continue that practice to kind of feel the coolness coming over the tongue, or if your tongue is into the back of the teeth, great practice. That's called Sitkari, which means the cooling breath. Or the hissing breath rather. Shitali and Sitkari pranayama. Great breathing practices for the summer. What happens is the breath is being drawn over the tongue, and it picks up the moisture from the tongue and puts that cool energy into the body. The yogis say it takes the acid out of the system. They also believe that this breathing practice will cure the body from all diseases. Just so you know. Just completing this practice. Let your energistic awareness be guided to the inside of the brain, about 4 finger widths deep, inside from the front of the forehead. You still remain the pineal gland, or we know this as Agnya Chakra, the third eye, the center of our clairvoyance, and our illuminated vision, our transcendent view. What happens is when we direct our awareness to a certain location, then a relationship between prana and our chitta then is formed. So just imagine allowing the breath to be shallow and very light here, but as you inhale, you float the breath into the chakra, into the center of the brain. And as you exhale, you let that energy expand. And if there's some inner sensation, if there's some pressure or anything, we'll just say that that's ideal. No fear. The attitude of dispassion and surrender. Eyes closed. It's comfortable for you.
gently add the quality of an inner vibration. So vocally, so in the mind, as one inhales, the sound of so is tone, and as one exhale, the sound of hum. Again, this is just all internal. And just let the mantra subside. Just focus on the chakra, the breath. So allow for a sense of presence to emerge here. So letting the psychic being develop here. The pratibha, the
intuitive perception of the space that opens to clairvoyance. This place where physical perception is refined into subtle knowledge. Lead advances towards peace. Just invited to chant and Om together. Seal practice. So releasing the breath of the two more times. Just leading Insta prayer, just sharing the gratitude for this time that we can spend with one another and exploring the riches, really, of our conscious apparatus, of the exploration of the universe and this capacity of our humanity. Namaste. Here, I'm just going to say goodbye to all the friends on the stream. And just a reminder, retreat at Shivalaya, one in June, one in July, and one in August. The first one is in a couple of weeks. Seva, Solstice, and Sadhana. And then we have the Dawn of Time in July. And then we have our frequencies and energies of yoga in August. There'll be a few dates also that will be at Shivalaya on Saturdays, streaming and practicing together. And you're welcome, Tammy. Thank you, Maggie, everyone. Great that you're here, and love, peace, friends. Be well. Om.